All right, so welcome back, everyone. We're here with the Sage Media Solutions series to sit down with some of the top programs in the PSAL. This is Andre Johnson. We're here in Thomas Jefferson to speak with the two-time Brooklyn champion, the one-time city champion, one-time state champion, and 10-time city finalist. We're here with none other than Coach Bud.
Hey, good morning, man. What's up?
Good morning, man. Really appreciate you.
My man,
sitting
how you
down
doing?
with us.
All right. Actually, 8-time finalist.
Eight times. Excuse me.
One and what's that? 1-7.
1-7. So you got it's tough to get there, right?
Yeah, a lot of people don't get there.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't get there.
Of course, we have to start with the Barclays. You know, your team, you guys fought so hard to get there. You know, it was a very back and forth game. Didn't end the way you wanted. So after a loss like that, what do you say to your team?
Well, it wasn't really much to say, things that we did wrong, that we addressed, caught up with us at the worst possible time. And I told those guys, watching film, and that's the things we did, with this team for the last 2 years. Certain things we never give up on an out of bounds plays, ball side corner, and we lost our discipline. We didn't communicate. We gave that up. And we told the guys, our motto for the year was work hard, outwork them. Work, don't make the same mistake twice. And we made the same mistake 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And right there it came up and caught us, and it bit us in the tail. But you live and you learn. It was a great experience, one for a lifetime. Hopefully those guys learn from it,
And just talk about that experience being in the Barclays. I mean, even as a spectator, it was, the front bowl is filled up, everyone's going crazy, Eagle versus Thomas Jefferson. Just talk about the atmosphere in the Barclays that night.
I mean, you would know more about what was going on in the stands.
Yeah, you're too locked in.
I was locked in on the game. For me, it was like a regular game, and I tuned out a lot of that stuff, But it seemed, after watching the footage, watching the superintendent, she's up dancing, and the family and everybody just had a good time, Unfortunately, it was a great game. And one of my friends said to me, he said, the best part about that game, he said it was a great game to watch how the kids play, but after the game, everybody was crying.
Yeah.
Eagle kids was crying,
yeah.
My kids was crying, everybody was crying, man. And it's sad that somebody had to lose that game.
Absolutely.
Somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. I think it was one for the ages, when we put on for Brooklyn. So I think it was really no losers in that game. It was one champion,
Absolutely. And let's just talk about 2 champions you had in Anthony Isaac and Taiwan Evans. Just talk about their contributions to the team and bring you all the way.
They were seniors, leaders, and what they lead. Ant was an animal and a beast down there all year, and
double machine.
Yeah, double machine. And Taiwan was steady every day in practice, on and off the court. His numbers didn't reflect the impact he had on the team. He was our most valuable player. He held us together. He was tough as nails, played 32 minutes, And when he wasn't in the game, it was a big difference. And no matter who we played against, or who had a bad game, who had a good game, he was always steady,
Yeah, so 2 of the players that those guys were leading were Conor Spratley and Tristan Davis. Unfortunately, they're not going to be here next year to help you guys try to get back to the city championship.
Yeah.
So just talk about their impact on the team. And, a lot of people might already be counting you guys out with 2 of your top dogs gone. So what do you say to that?
Well, when two dogs go, next dog up, you know what I'm saying?
Dog up.
You know what I'm saying? We had dogs here for 20 years, man. Those 2 guys ain't gonna stop the show, you know what I'm saying? So we gonna go on. But, people been counting us out for years, but we'll find a way to make a way. They gave me, good part about it, they gave me the February to figure this thing out. And what people don't understand, the regular season is all scrimmages to get you ready for the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So once you get in that dance and that fire is hot and it's one and done, everybody don't hold up under that pressure,
Can you just talk about the impact those 2 made?
I mean, those two guys had a big impact on the program. As freshmen, they came in. Conor was a 20-plus guy. Man was a 15, 18-point guy. They both started as freshmen, and unfortunately, we had a upset. They freshman in the playoffs, but we came back, and we learned from that, and we came back and we made it right the ship. We had 22 games with those guys. averaged, the first year they had 20 wins. So those guys had great careers here. I mean, I appreciate the time I had with them. And, I got a text from Man. We talked. Those guys, are we still cool?
It's family.
Man say, Coach, I love you, blah, blah, blah. So at the end of the day, Conor's here every day. I can't put him out of here. You know what I'm saying? He act like he don't want to go. But, but at the end of the day, those guys Conor was on his way to getting, they was both on their way to getting 2,000. Man would have probably got 2,000 as well.
Were they already at 1,000?
No, Man was at 8-something.
Wow.
Conor was at 900.
And that's 2 years?
In 2 years, and they missed, Man missed a couple of games because of the pandemic and the vaccine thing he had to get around, and Conor had a few injuries. But those guys, these next 2 years, would probably definitely hit 2,000. Wow. And I would have loved to see them finish out their careers here, but things, they moved on, and life goes on. It was a great 2 years. We had some great times, won a lot of games, but now it's meat on the bone for the other dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So, talking about the dogs, you guys are known for your point guard play. You're about to get into your 20th season here. You guys are known for that relentless full court press, that high tempo play, and no matter who it is, you've had many different teams, and you guys all have that similar style. So, how do you really put that style into the team?
Well, it starts in preseason. Starts in preseason, and what we do is 32 minutes of hell. You know what I'm saying?
30 minutes of hell.
32 minutes, the time of the game, and we practice nonstop, 32 minutes. And I put them through everything I want them to put the other team through. And the goal of that is not to punish them, it's to prepare them to punish the other team. So a lot of times we do it all year. Those guys resent me, sucking their teeth, man. But in the playoff time when playoff time comes, we locked and loaded, man. We don't break down. In the championship game, I thought it was perfect. We play 5 guys. Seeing our guys didn't break down. I seen the Eagle guys look a little tired. They fouling out, they breaking down, but mentally we didn't make the right plays. We had the 7-point lead, we up. We went over that, pull them out. Now but kids, they're kids. At that time of the game, Conor's 15 years old, playing in front of 10,000, 15. Man's 16.
I think that's something you forget sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes we forget. Yeah. And they get caught up in everything, their friends and everybody in the crowd. And it's 15 years old playing in front of 10,000 people, in a city championship game, 32 minutes. That's a lot, It's just a lot, man. But I was proud of those guys and that team, And that team was a good team. I wish they could have won it, but they was winners, though,
Yeah, and leading up to that game was the city semifinal where you guys were able to defeat, the undefeated Eagle Bronx. I know you had beat them earlier in the season, undefeated in their league play. And I want to talk about the game specifically because, going into fourth quarter, you guys were down 2 points. I think a few minutes before that, you guys were down maybe 7 points or something like that. You guys turn on those high-pressure tactics, flips the game on its head. You end up winning by 16 points. So just talk about that game.
You sure it wasn't 18-20, man?
I
need every point.
I went back at it. I saw that.
I think it was an 18-20 point game. It was a little easier than that, man. Come on.
So just talk about, you guys turned the heat up, and we saw the results. So just talk about that game and those tactics.
I mean, we knew, we assumed, we thought that we can go in there and get them by about 20.
That's what you guys thought going into the game.
So I think our guys were a little overconfident and kind of looking ahead. And we didn't play as good as we should have played, but Poppy came in, he started laughing when they went up about 9 LA, started laughing, come on, let's turn it up with these guys. So
you guys always had it in the tuck.
I'm just like, these guys, because these kids is funny. One thing about this team, they was overconfident. Sometimes they think they can go play when they want to play, they better than what they are, but you can't turn it on or off. But this team had a certain thing about it, that they could hit that switch. In fourth quarter is when we like to hit that switch.
I mean, I was commentating that game. It was just such a stark difference. I think there might have been 7 turnovers in 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was a time where they couldn't really get it over half. Because that's part of how we practice. We like to win games in the fourth quarter. When guys are tired, like to win games in that fourth quarter, especially in the playoff time. That pressure is a little different in the fourth quarter in the playoffs than a regular season game when your life is on the line.
And it seems like your team is just used to that.
Yeah, we're used to that. We do it every day. One thing about them, guys practice hard. And we blessed over here to have gym time. So we ain't here 7 days a week,
No, absolutely. So just speaking on that, I just want to talk about Brooklyn in general. 4 teams in the Elite Eight, 3 teams in the Final Four, 2 in the finals. So just talk about playing in the Brooklyn AA every night, that competition, and talk about, like, how big do you think the gap is between the Brooklyn and the other boroughs?
I just think we have other brothers have good teams. We just have more good teams here. I don't know, maybe we take it more serious. I don't know. That's a good question, but it seemed to be like that throughout the course of time. I think back in the days it was the same way. But maybe like in the early 80s, the format wasn't like a 32 team seeded format. I think
For the city playoffs?
It was the city playoffs. I think the Brooklyn winner went on. It was like the Brooklyn Staten Island winner went on, Queens went on.
Oh, I see.
So Brooklyn didn't get a chance to display the amount of power and the talent. Now, if you'd have seeded the Brooklyn teams like that back in the days, then, we'd have had probably the Boys and the Abraham Lincolns and the Hamiltons and the Jeffersons. You'd have probably had that same type of Elite Eight with 5 or 6 Brooklyn teams in it. But the Brooklyn guy usually came out. Only one Brooklyn team came out. So, but it's for whatever reason, it just seemed like maybe because it's a lot of people here, I don't know, and things seem like a little tougher in Brooklyn, as opposed to other boroughs. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. And you just kind of see
I think, Brooklyn might be a little tougher. The Bronx might be a little rougher. But you know what I'm saying?
Rougher.
Yeah, but
and I also do think that it's just watching the Brooklyn AA night in and night out, just like the pace of play, I feel like is so much faster. Like even when you guys come into, Eagle Brooklyn's gym or South Shore come into your gym, I feel like the pace is so high.
That's the thing. The intensity is high. Like, the excitement, the rivalry. Like everybody's a rivalry. It's like basketball.
Exactly.
Beef,
Everyone is a rivalry.
Everybody's a rivalry, and the kids in the communities get excited about the games, and the games are good to watch. I wish I could watch it from the other side sometimes, but the games are good to watch. You got good coaches, and in our league, we got Roof's a city state champion. Smoke, he's a state 3-time champion. I'm a city state champion. What's coach over there?
Coach Hamilton.
Coach Hamilton, he's a city champion. So it's, it's only 2 state champion coaches inside the PSL. They both from Brooklyn.
Wow.
I think Lovelace and myself, no other PSAL coach has won a state championship.
I didn't think of that.
Clario's been there 40 years. Got about 2 or 3 chips, but he's never won a state.
Never won a state. Wow.
So so when you got that type of coaching in the borough, it's tough. Whatever borough has more than 1 champion right now. I don't think the Bronx has any since Billy gone. Queens won. Manhattan none. You know what I'm saying? What they say, Manhattan make it, Brooklyn take it. What they? But Staten Island, I don't think none. So when you got that in Brooklyn, good coaching don't come overnight.
It's like that pedigree, that history. Plays into it.
We all know what we up against every year, so we all putting that work in, preparing for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then you mentioned community. And I do want to talk about your youth program right over in that other gym. You got the youth guy, the little dogs, the killer dogs going right now. So just talk about the importance of what you guys are doing at Jefferson with the youth program.
Our principals, principals believe in community and having the little kids, and 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 a lot of things we got going on in our community, which in this gym is centrally located to East New York, Brownsville. So we have the little kids in here. We got the little killer dogs, 8U, 10U, 12U. We do like free camps for those guys and training. I think it's important to start at that age because a lot of guys out here coaching these kids are not preparing them for high school, not preparing them for high school practices. And I think they do a good job when their hearts are in the right place. But sometimes you got to have a pro instead of a Joe. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that got ref fee and entry fee, it's not a coach. You know what I'm saying? In an Instagram page. And I think we got guys here to do it. Sufant, myself, Sel, we all former players, high school players, pretty good elite high school players, Division I college players, and we all work in the school. So, we blessed to have that, to have 3 or 4 Division I guys in here. And we could teach these guys. We look in our phones, we have college coaches that we played with, grew up with, played AAU
Players.
with, you know what I'm saying? So these guys we speak to on a day-to-day basis. So we know the challenge that the kids face and what the coaches face with kids coming in. And the biggest part of that is training and practicing, and playing the right way, you know. But it's important. These kids are fun. They give you the youth.
Yeah.
They listen. They're coachable at this age. So I think it's the age we need to have an impact. You know, hopefully, you know, every high school coach in high school or in the borough or in the city, I have like some type of program like this so we can get the kids ready for us. Because a lot of times the kids are not ready when they come to us to practice, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point, and I just want to echo that. I hope every high school starts having more youth programs. That's really important to have something for these kids to do.
And it's all about administrators. And one thing about Brooklyn, I don't know about any other, but I think Queens has its challenges. I know Coach Niclario, we speak about his challenges, what he can't do in Brooklyn. But for whatever reasons, the principals of Brooklyn are engaged into the sports programs, into the kids, in the community. This is important to them. You know, for recruiting, we all competing. You know, we're all working. So I think it's a little different in Brooklyn. I think that plays a big part in how competitive our teams are as well. You know, so we competing for kids, we competing, for facilities. We just put a lot into our programs. You know, that's important. Gym time, getting these kids off the street, especially in Brooklyn. You know, especially in Brooklyn, there's a lot going on. But if we can get kids doing this and shooting ball and hoops all day, every day, it's a good thing, you know?
Yeah, and to go off of competing for kids, we do have to talk about the transfer portal, if you want to call it that.
Oh,
That's
man,
hot topic. We have to, I've asked every coach about this so far. It's a new culture. It's almost a new world we're living in where, kids can transfer. I know, obviously, you guys have been hit with it, on the negative side. Losing some of your players. But just talk about the transfer portal, your thoughts on it, and just this whole culture, and talk about some of the kids that might have come into your program.
Well, I think a lot of parents need to be more educated on what's going on. I think we have too many non-educators and non-basketball guys that have too
many
much.
Joes, not enough pros.
Too many Joes, not enough pros. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not enough pros. And one of the parents said, one of the kids said to me, he said his dad said, well, keep listening to those guys, you'll end up in D3. Right there, that's the wrong thing to say to a kid. 'Cause anytime you play college basketball, you doing good. You doing good.
Especially if it's for free.
You know what I'm saying? If it's D3 and you playing D3 and you come back in a town, you the next Coach Bud, you get a degree and you felony free, you blessed. You know what I'm saying? I may not have made it to the NBA player, but I live like one. You know what I'm saying? Life is good. So that's what it's about, quality of life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying I gotta drive a Rolls Royce, but I could get an Escalade and live in a nice house and eat and live the finest of lives. And that's because I work hard, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about, man. I just think we have a lot of ignorance amongst the kids, amongst the community, amongst the basketball community. You know what I'm saying? I think if whatever guys got going on, I mean, they should let the high school coaches that read transcripts, that's with the kids, that sit in the kids' class. A lot of these guys make decisions for kids. You know what I'm saying? Make decisions for kids. And they don't really know a kid's academic situation. They don't know things that we have in place here for kids academically, as far as clearing houses, different things. Like, so a lot of things they don't know. You know
But
what
they're
I'm
just like they're making the decisions.
They make decisions based on, like, for example, they say, oh, I know some people said it was hard. Oh, play a national schedule. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect, but St. Benedict's and St. Pat's ain't the St. Benedict's and St. Pat's are old. You know what I'm saying? So this is a different thing. You know, so if you're a guy that's on the mic, grab the mic and rock the mic. Stay out of education. Stay out of that stuff. If you never played high school ball, you never got a varsity point, you know what I'm saying? Who are you?
Coach
Who are
say,
you?
yo, where the stats at? Let me see your stats before you make some decisions.
You never had a high school point, played on a high school team. I don't even know if half these guys have a high school diploma. You know what I'm saying? On high school credit. So whatever you do in life, do that. Be good at that. Bring that to the table when it comes to this basketball community. But sometimes we have non-educators trying to educate our kids, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know, I prove it myself. I've done, You know, I think I can't, when I leave this place, I think I left it a whole lot better than when I found it.
I agree. I mean, we can see, just the infrastructure.
You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, I'm not even going to talk about our facility is second to none. As far as what we was able to do coming in here with the program and the millions we raised for the gyms. We on like our third, fourth gym renovation. Now the next one is to knock that wall down, expand that gym.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm gonna be around for that, but I'm gonna try to put that in place.
You're trying to push it.
And I'm gonna put that in place before I leave for the next man. But just things that we do, you know what I'm saying? And that's all, man. We just trying to be the best versions of ourselves and help as many kids. One of my biggest accomplishments are guys on my first team, Conor, now he runs the pivot program for like New York City Board of Ed. He comes in here, suit and tie sharp as a knife, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
that's
wow.
my guy.
That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? And some of the guys that I coach, they come in here and they work in the school as teachers, they got degrees. Like, that's what it's about, man. How many of these guys making an MBA? You know what I'm saying? How many of these guys making an MBA, man? You know, we gotta stop telling guys Division I is all or nothing. It's not. A lot of these kids are not Division I players. It's not because it's New York. It's not, they're just not built like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not Division I. There's nothing wrong with college.
Especially now, I feel like there's so many options with the G League, European ball. Like, you could be a pro in so many different ways than just the NBA, going to Duke or Kentucky or something like that.
Yeah. But I mean, it's definitely different avenues, and the way Saudi Arabia is going, they're gonna have a league over there soon. You know what I'm saying? They want
throwing the bag out too. I might go over there too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They want in on everything. So it's basketball over. We got a Brooklyn team. Shout out to Ruben King. He got the Brooklyn Coney Island team thing going. So guys can extend their careers as much as possible. But at the end of the day, like me, I was talking to a parent yesterday, and me and Sel, we got two stories. We both went to West Virginia, and had a bad car accident, shattered my hips, and my teammate lost his leg. But because I was a good guy, they liked me. They paid for my undergrad and they paid for my master's from the School of Medicine. So it was hard to get in there. So they got me in there, but I had to do the work. And then in order to be a full-time student, I had to take a full-time load. So I ended up getting 36 credits over my master's. So when I came to Board of Ed, I didn't understand what it meant then, but I know full-time I had to do it. Room and board for purposes. But I came in, and those 30 credits above my master's ended up equivalent to 2 masters. So my pay salary went here. So I was like, wow, it's the best thing I wanted to do. I mean, the best thing I did. And I really just wanted to stay around a couple of years, hang out with Sel and those guys, because I wasn't ready to come back and work. But, it was the best thing that happened to me. So God had a plan for me. Even coming here, my thing wasn't coaching. I got here by accident. You know what I'm saying? And this gym right here, working with the school across the street, and the coach and the AD was leaving. The coach was leaving. He said, yo, you want to come coach the team? I was like, Jeff? So I said, I'm a competitor. I said, let me try it. So, the gyms and everything was the worst. The program was the worst. We didn't have a team. We didn't have nothing. So I leaned on Mr. Lodge, God bless the dad. He helped us out. And we just took off first year. We got our butt kicked, and after that,
years later,
the rabbit had the gun. You know what I'm saying?
The rabbit had the gun.
The rabbit had the gun after that. So, but it's been a good 20 years, man. I think, like I said, when we came in, now Sel is the Selachek. He's football coach, the janitor, the baseball coach, the stunt team coach. He got about 6 jobs to here, but now we definitely, the place is a lot better, now that we're here. With us than without us, and that's what it's about,
Absolutely. So 2 more questions. Just want to talk about your coaching staff in general. Just talk about them and their contributions to your success here.
Man, hey, everybody needs a strong team, no matter what you do. I got a strong team around me. But the best part about my team, they've been around me for 20 years. I don't change my circle. I don't change my circle because you got a kid, I'm putting you on the staff because certain things, a certain image, and it's a certain type of person I want around me and the kids. And not saying you're a bad guy, but I'm a certain way. I like to keep my circles tight and small. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to coaching and my work environment, I don't like a lot of change. I like long-term relationships. I like consistency, and I got that with the guys that I have around me now. So that's what I'm gonna rock out with my last part of my career.
I got you. Last question, Coach. I just want to get your general outlook on the season, talk about some of the players you still have in this building. I know it's a lot of chatter. People might be counting you guys out. You guys were one of the only teams to go in and beat Eagle Brooklyn in their gym, one of the only teams in the city to beat South Shore, went to the Brooklyn final, went to the city final. Some people might be expecting less. What do you expect of your team this upcoming season?
I expect the same thing. I mean, the expectations and the plan doesn't change.
Yeah.
You know, the people with the money, them checks are still in that account. Them plane tickets is ordered. We're gonna be fresh to death. Ain't no team gonna be fired.
With the Adidas, I'll see
Adidas, you know what I'm saying? Without this Adidas, I'm the deal. I'm the deal. That's why I'm the big dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm the deal. You know, so that money right, that account right. So next dog up. You know what I'm saying? Nothing changes. Nothing changes. Dog, you know what I'm saying? Dogs don't die, they multiply. So, you know, if you leave, we got more dogs in the pound, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
Coach,
my man.
It's an absolute pleasure. Y'all, we'll be back next time. We're going to speak with Eagle Brooklyn to finish off this series. Thank you so much. Good night.